Hello and welcome to Goa 365's Story Behind the Story. Now we have episodes on this program of ours over various issues. But this is very specific. This is budget oriented because our state budget is going to be presented on the 27th of March. So with us is a distinguished panel, nobody better to discuss what could be the wish list or what exactly they want from industry for the budget. Without much ado, I would like to introduce, starting off with Mangaresh Pai Raikar, my good friend and past president of GCCI. Mangaresh Bab, welcome.
Namaskar.
Sanjay Bab Amunkar, DG GCCI. Rajesh Sheth from CREDAI, the top body of construction. And Jack Sukija of TTAG, Vice President. Jack Bab, welcome to our show. Mangaresh Bab, I would like you to give a little bit of an overview and then maybe we can move sector-wise because we are trying to do this over the past 2-3 weeks so that sectors are represented. Mangaresh Bab.
First and foremost, I would congratulate you for taking up these state issues because most of the time we see that we only talk about the national, parlance. It's very good that we are coming and looking at state and trying to evolve some strategy or some suggestions which the state could benefit from. And having said that, we have gone through 2 years of turmoil after the COVID. A lot of economic downfall was there. Yet this double engine government came up with several measures, and thanks to the support from the center, that lot of infrastructure projects could take place in during those times. Now we have to take it further. And having said that, another major thing was about mining, which had come to a standstill. Now, without mining, the revenue of the state had dipped down, and they were in turmoil because of the lack of finances. So, because of that, even Goa Chamber of Commerce, with restrained from asking for any additional benefits or additional infrastructure or whatever that we would say. But now coming to the part that we have also increased our revenue through GST, which we have seen from the recent figures, we would like to make a fervent appeal that the common facilities like hazardous waste treatment and disposal facility, common firefighting system, pump room, hydrants, new and strong bridge at Borim, which is the need of the day, truck terminus at industrial estates, and better water and power distribution system. We have seen that power tariff is being increased from time to time, and the only way that we can curtail it is by putting a stop to the pilferage or putting a stop to the losses, T&D losses, as we say. Now this need to be looked into, and even some infrastructure needs have to be taken care of because lot of equipments need to be changed. We have seen that almost all the transformers or the units which are used inside have become old and they have started asking for more power. Now this is something which we need to look into. So these are the small things which the government can definitely look into for the betterment, and the state can march forward with this because with the infrastructure will come more investment.
Absolutely. Fair enough. Yeah, thanks Mangaresh Bab. Now Sanjay Bab, now just this is like almost a movement from you because like you basically industry sector which I don't know, you have to tell us what you feel is the state of industry in also looking at local industry. Like
okay, thanks Glenn Bab. First and foremost, again I thank you for inviting us here for the discussion.
Pleasure.
We have given a memorandum to the state government for various requirements which we feel the industry as well as the other sectors require, which we have given it to the Chief Minister recently. One of the main problems which we ask or which we need are the basic things. There are 23 industrial estates in Goa, and unfortunately, only few of them are being concentrated on. Especially the industrial estates in South Goa are they are not more focused. I would not say neglected, but there need to be more focus on this industrial estate. Again, as Mangirish sir has said, the basic need is power, water, infrastructure, fire hydrant system and effluent treatment plants. Now, it is not possible for each and every unit to have its own effluent treatment or fire hydrant system. So, what we are asking is for a common system. And if it is going to take time, we are asking them to strengthen the fire tender systems in each of the industrial estate. We already had one major issue and we saw what a catastrophic effect it had. So, to prevent such instances in future, either we strengthen the fire hydrant, which is a easier and a faster solution than creating a fire hydrant solution system. So, this is one of the points which we are looking at. Second is in the recent JRC, I think on 15th of February there was a JRC hearing, and the government is proposing 6% hike in the tariff. Again, what we see here is always the domestic tariff is not touched, and the most burden comes on the industry. So we are not saying that it should not be increased. You can increase, but to a certain extent. But there should be a value addition to it. It is not that you keep on making mistakes. There were power losses. Sir rightly said there are pilferages. There are losses in the system because the equipment is old. You concentrate on them. Your losses which are on 12%, you can bring them to 8% at least. That will cut half of your costs. So no need to burden the industry on this type of. So these are few of the things which I feel that government should look into this budget and see that these are taken care of.
Now, Sanjay, one thing I would like to add on this power thing. Nobody talks about quality of power. Nobody talks about cuts, because I know in many of the industrial estates, I personally know, we have in fact filed stories, you all are working on gensets. Now, how is that feasible to work on genset in industry? It is not possible. Now, everybody talks about Verna. You look at this Kunkoli industrial estates, or you look at this, many of them have got this fish thing, pollution. I mean, like,
no, in power, as you rightly said, the cost of power if you use a genset goes up to 25 to 30 rupees, correct?
Which is not
it is not feasible at all. It's not feasible at all, especially at the peak time. That is at from 6 p.m. onward this problem comes. What you said, the quality of the power, again this is directly connected with the type of equipment. Our transformers are very old.
Yes.
They cannot run more than 60-70% of the capacities. Luckily, the new chief engineer who is in office, Mr. Stephen Fernandez, he has already taken good care, and some of the transformers are being replaced, and we hope that in the near future, maybe in a year's time, most of the major transformers in the major industrial areas will be replaced with better transformers. So that will bring down the losses as well as improve the quality of power.
Basically, you need quality of all infrastructure.
Yeah.
Quality.
A steady power is what we require.
Glenn, I'll just take 2 minutes if you don't mind, and I would like to make a mention here that today we are in the digital era.
Okay.
And in the digital era, lot of information technology units which are focusing on
You're talking about internet.
Internet is one, and electricity power is also important, because most of our friends from the information technology, they work in the night because their timing has to be in sync with the Western world.
The back end, you're talking
yeah,
about the back end.
that's the reason why when the power failure happens, they are at a loss in providing the services that they are supposed to give. So this has become a very critical issue.
Yeah, the digital thing I think we'll take on another day, but because especially the internet connectivity and all in Goa is like really sad here, and the cost is very, very high compared to any other state. We'll bring that up because that is a lot of my friends from abroad and all, they want to come down to Goa to set up things. It's not worth it. Yeah. Okay, Rajesh Bab, now construction is a big industry in Goa. It's pretty big. Not only it's connected to tourism and all. What is your wish list?
Yeah.
One I know, sad, but besides that.
Glenn, thank you for having us here.
My pleasure.
Basically, it's a very good program where all the industry bodies as well as can view their points which they feel are necessary. What we woke up today with a very good news that the GST collection for this month has been excellent compared to the last year. So what if during COVID or even prior to that, because of the mining not being there, we feel our industry was taxed a little more, because that was tourism, and our industry, real estate industry, was taxed a lot more in the past. So we feel now that things are getting, and mining is going to be restarted soon.
It's already.
Yeah, so since a lot of auctions have taken place and government will start looking at revenue coming in. Our wish list is to rationalize mainly the taxes. And basically, as you rightly said, started with sand supply. So basically, a lot of raw material which is again related with government with respect to sand or laterite or anything. Those licenses, because of some ruling with NGT or government has not been able to start off with a full, give issue licenses and start off in a full way. So government itself is one of the biggest infrastructure builder in Goa. They also face this issue, but as developers, as real estate and contractors and construction companies, we face this on a continuous basis. We feel that government should take little proactive steps and basically NGT or any other forum wherever these matters are, they need to formulate those policies and get started with it. So that's our major thing. Reduction of taxes, which has increased over these last 5-6 years because of income loss to the government, and raw material availability. Because there are a lot of other issues like GST which are not in the state's hand. It is decided by the board. So in construction, ITC is not allowed. Income tax credit, input tax credit, we don't get it. So because of which the entire thing has to be subsumed by the development and then finally passed on to the end user, which everybody feels that. So it can reduce. We woke up with again, not really now, but some 6 months back, stamp duty was increased, which was earlier a bracket. So we went one notch above. So we feel now that revenue starts coming, we are hoping that the government can rationalize it. That is our biggest wish list.
I don't know, but anyway, because nothing comes down. But I just wanted to ask you a little bit of a thing, like now this market, the real estate market, slowly it's picking up because we can see things not only in private homes and I mean like single unit dwelling as you call it, but what type of business is going? Is the premium business coming up or the general type of construction business coming up?
As of now, what we have seen post-COVID or rather in COVID, the premium segment has benefited a lot more. Yeah, and premium houses, because people wanting to look at Goa as another, probably moving here or having it as a second home, has increased. And that's why the premium segment has benefited a lot more compared to the normal. Yeah, and the budget and the regular are pretty much the same. Costs have gone up, so commensurate with the cost only the pricing has gone up. Whereas in the premium segment, the pricing has gone up quite a bit. That's more because of a demand and supply issue. Because there's less of supply in that segment and more of a demand for that segment, right?
Yeah, right. Why I wanted to think is because next is tourism.
So I think from a tourism point of view, you can take it on the taxation front, and the other thing which you can take it is on the infrastructure point of view. So if we are taking off taxation, the basic taxing powers with the state government is your VAT right now, which applies only on liquor and petroleum, and your taxes on excise, which apply on liquor. So if you're looking at VAT, one of the very great steps the government has taken is it's made renewal lifetime now, so we don't have to go every 3 years. So that's been a great step in terms of ease of doing business. Coming to VAT on liquor, you have 22.5%. I don't know petrol what it is, but if you're taking 22.5%, so one of the most revolutionary things I have seen in tax is where the late Manohar Parrikar, I think when I first started working, he had this concept of an off-season rate for hotels, and he reduced it by 60% luxury tax. So with that, you had like the tax bracket widening tremendously. So maybe out of the box, you can think and reduce VAT on certain times.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. I'll go in for a small commercial break. We'll be right back. Keep watching. Welcome back. Now, Mangesh Bab, you are involved quite deeply in agriculture. So that is one sector which I don't know. The government is putting in so much of effort. I don't know where it's going or if it's going anywhere. or what would you need for it to go somewhere? Because we bring in almost 80% of everything from everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
In fact, government is trying to do lot of things for the agriculture by giving them lot of incentive, subsidy. But one major thing which I would like to suggest to the government this time is, last few months I have been visiting our neighboring states, and especially Maharashtra and Karnataka, they have come out with a very nice scheme that if a produce is destroyed, say by wild animals or by act of nature, immediately, it is quantified and the subsidy is provided to the farmer, because his loans which he has taken to buy the seedlings or buy the whatever procurement, it can be easily set off by him. So this is something if the local government can think of, I think it will be a much, because recently we have seen that wild animals especially have been tormenting the farmers, especially in Kankon and other areas, Kepe areas. So these farmers, instead of waiting for the government to come and take some preemptive action, I mean, now if there is already a scheme on that, it can be well-meaning for the farmers. This is one. Second thing is, now we are all talking about organic farming.
Okay.
Yeah, organic farming is not as easy as it is said, because you have to, first undergo a lot of losses for first 3 to 5 years. Because, the first 3 to 5 years, you have to stop using all the pesticides, and, that soil has to come back to its original level of what it was prior to use of pesticides or fertilizers. And then it has to be put to use. I mean, there is certification for that also. So all these things, by the time whatever produce is there, it is neither can be called organic, nor he can, I mean, it has to be sold as a normal thing. So the farmer doesn't get the right price for what he is doing it. So I feel that there should be some incentive for a farmer who is turning organic.
Okay. So Jayabab, now I know agriculture industry is like, at least we in India and Goa, I think we take industry and agriculture as two separate things. But the way I look at it, agriculture will only become agriculture if it becomes an industry. Right?
You have done the right thing of projecting them. So people are aware now that this type of things are happening. You rightly said, that industry and agriculture need to synchronize and be in sync. When our Honorable Prime Minister said that the income of the farmer needs to be doubled. The only way it can be doubled is by value addition. It cannot be doubled otherwise. There are 3 things which I would like to tell you. One is lack of workers which are available today for the farm, and for which fallow land is
mechanization is there.
Yeah, no, that is what you also said, that now because of the division in the land, it is small. So like in Maharashtra, the brothers got together, they are using one common drone with sensors, so artificial intelligence also comes in, and that does the spraying, does the all this. There are many things which need to be done, and it is being done through these measures. So in Goa also being small, and another thing is our topography is ups and downs.
Correct.
So the ups and downs can be used for millets, and we used to do earlier during the pre-liberation time. A lot of nasne, ragi is to be,
and then we were forced to have it also.
Correct.
You have to.
But it is a very nutritious food. It is a very, and this is the year of millet. So I feel that government should focus on this millet and give incentives for farmers who will be, plowing trying to cultivate ragi in the hilly area.
Fair enough. Yeah, but that I'll get back to that point again, Sanjay. Rajbab, like now, like how is it you feel that okay, tax we've said, infrastructure. How is it you feel that your the this can move forward. Like the specifics, some few specifics that you could possibly put forward. That the government can, basically the government has to smoothen the. It should not do business, according to me. It should smoothen the way for others to do proper business. Same thing in tourism. When government gets into business, then there is trouble.
Here, actually, when I met government is in infrastructure, they are not really into the business.
No, I didn't. I'm not pointing on you. I'm talking
From our point of view, there are many things. Like basically, we as tourism also, any project or any house also. Today we pay infrastructure tax, which is collected by the government.
for what infrastructure?
Yeah. So basically, what has happened is since it goes into the government pool, we don't know where it is utilized. So basically, what our viewpoint, we've been making multiple representations, and we say this: since it is paid in advance by the proponent of the project, so government knows that it's got this money. So if anything needs to be done, the infrastructure can be planned and all that. We again, every time we ask this this point to the government that it should be utilized for the project, for the infrastructure in that particular area. Our major infrastructure is very good according to me, with the road network.
Road, yes.
Yes, especially the road network is very good. Water needs some improvement. Electricity, as said, it's much better, but still there are a lot of issues which need to be ironed out from another point is sewerage network. So a lot of areas which it's being done, but it's not completed yet. So once that is done, I think lot of houses, buildings, everybody can connect. Otherwise, it's a responsibility on the developer to start a plant. It's very easy for us to put in. It's just a cost. Initially, we make sure, but afterwards, the society has to take care of it.
That's
and it has to make sure that it works. So these are few things which are related to the infrastructure. Which, if government does it, I think it becomes much more easier. The cost also will reduce because these costs are finally added on. Whatever, if infrastructure, like for example a transformer or anything, every project needs to have its own infrastructure apart from paying the infrastructure tax. So all these things, if government can take care of it in some way, because as I said, I started off with saying because government will probably see more revenue coming in from this year onwards.
Yes.
So if they can budget it that way, then they can slowly look at a reduction or reducing the burden on the developer, which can help reducing the burden on the common man while buying a house or anything.
That I don't know if that will happen, but what I'm saying,
It's a wish list.
What I'm saying is that probably sewerage it better get done, because otherwise, see the state of the roads, it better get done and fast.
Correct.
So that will help. Also, one thing, the sewerage is very important because many especially the older buildings and houses, they have these septic tanks and then they have wells. So it's very unscientifically done. So the septic should be actually lower, but it is higher and it spoils the wells. So I've seen in Margao and many of these places the wells are all spoiled.
Yeah.
Correct.
So that is another.
I mean, it's happening for quite some areas actually. Urban, actually, the areas which are getting urbanized faster, those areas actually the work is happening, but it has not reached completion. We wish that happens
Goa
fast.
is not a village anymore. Goa is
Exactly.
one big city. Yeah, check up. Tell me.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, the point you said about that sewage being maintained, and I think Panjim had that problem around 15 years back.
Yeah.
So all the
Water,
was
yes.
contaminated.
Yeah. And even Margao,
Yeah.
most of the wells and all wells are. But what specifics you would need besides tax and liquor license? I don't know if this liquor thing is going to come down. See, I have an issue with this liquor thing. What happens, no? Like the rates and all are high, but what many of the type of tourists who come to Goa,
My point is not you on the ones which attract your low end tourists or whatever, you keep it high. That
Correct,
you keep.
okay.
But what I'm saying, like if you have a premium, like a black label or
then
that is where we have gone priced out, and we are not even our local. Like Goa is now supposed to be the gin capital of India. It's even got mentioned on the Economist.
Sabra,
so many gin there.
I mean, I think 10 international quality brands.
Yes.
So if you are
the
going
pink
to
jeans and all of Goa are like pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides, of course, having our own local city, which has got GI tag.
Yeah.
But if you're going to price our own sales at the premium end, if you're going to find it cheaper somewhere in a metro, one of the key things of Goa was that liquor was available, and you were supposed to drink responsibly. Most Goans do.
Supposed to drink. I like the way you put it.
Most Goans do.
See, that's the issue. Besides whatever anybody might talk about goals, but we know because we are used to the thing. But like these you have these wholesale
Yeah.
These guys come for a holiday. Many of them sleep on the.
There is an issue on enforcement. There's wholesale.
Yeah.
You are not supposed to sell retail. You cannot sell over the counter, which is happening.
But it's happening in Goa.
Yeah, and like they stay in their own vehicles on the road, cook and all. That type of tourism, the whole it becomes a different ball game completely. No?
On that sector, I'm perfectly agree with him. I'm talking on the higher end.
Yeah, so what I was saying, you feel that the premium tourism is gone up, premium or middle of budget
No,
is.
I'm not saying it's affecting
No,
tourism.
you feel now generally.
In Goa,
Yes.
yeah, all segments
All
have gone
segments.
up. Like premium, like you said, today there are people who are in the real estate villas. You talked about people are investing 7-10 crores in North
Yeah,
India
that's what
on
I
a villa.
heard. It's true.
If not
Yeah.
more.
So much.
Yes.
Per villa.
We've heard that also.
Wow, you
No,
can't say that.
we are not building, though we want to get into that segment.
So
Yeah.
I'll just give you one example. Taj has got, I think, some 20 hotels in Goa today, out of which I think 12 or
Are
20
the
Amma.
Amma.
And these are not, these are like hotels which are retailing at 20,000 a night. or-
20,000?
Yeah,
Jack,
40,000.
where are you?
Yeah, 40,000.
The Marriott, the Savoy thing I was talking about, they've also tied up now with so many of these things which are
Small,
coming up.
bungalow.
And B2B, lot of
Yeah.
this.
I'll just make a small mention
Yeah,
before
before
you
we run
finish,
out. Yes.
because I was on DIPP, Government of India, and there between 19 and 20 there is a scheme where you can ask for money for developing of the industrial estates. This and this being a double Indian government, they can definitely try to get the funding from the center
There is a
for
money.
improvement of the industrial estate infrastructure, where all the common facilities, including the testing tool room center, can
Okay,
be
okay. So specific.
Yes, but then you have to have a project for it. Most of the time, what had happened earlier, the money came, but was used for
No.
something else.
But utilization certificates didn't come. This is happening with
Yeah, I got
half
one point.
50% of the
Yeah.
central funding.
That's the reason why Goa was deprived for some time. Now again they can be
Even now,
and,
50% of the money is going back.
That is one thing. And second thing, I will tell you, value addition. I told you about agriculture. We had jackfruit. Jackfruit is to just fall down and be one among. I mean, it was used as a fodder for cattle also sometimes. Now what has happened is in 2014 there was a team which came from
Yeah, I
Netherlands
know, I know.
to my college,
You
and
told me about this.
and they did a research, and now the veg burgers are being done with the help of the jackfruit. And I
You
think
spoke about this even for the national budget.
I got one point. One point to make is
Yeah, please.
this is on VAT on natural gas.
Okay.
So this is one point which we have been pursuing for a long period of time. Certainly, government came up last time and they have reduced VAT on aviation fuel.
Aviation. Why? Because of Jack.
No, what we are requesting. No, what we are requesting is
People are refusing here.
the VAT on natural gas in Goa is right now 12.5%. On neighboring states it is much lower, it's 4%. Even Gujarat it is 3%.
Yeah, Gujarat
And
is
secondly, the
tax
PDS has
lower,
started,
yeah.
public distribution system has started. So it will affect the common man also. In fact, the industry. So if you can reduce some, we are not saying 3%, but at least somewhere in the middle, if it comes, it will be a big benefit to the
But
industry.
Gujarat taxes are very low. Most taxes are very
Yeah.
low. I don't know. It's across the board, I think. Anyway, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, Mangarish Babu. Thanks,
you.
Rajesh
Thank
Babu.
you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Rajesh Babu.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been interesting, and I hope this message goes across. Not very detailed, but few points that were taken up, and we will continue this as the weeks go by till the budget on the 27th. Thank you, and keep watching Goa 365.